Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about something fun, and people usually ask, so I'll let you know. Yeah, I'm recording this on a camcorder, the AGCX350, the bigger brother, the granddaddy to the HCX2000, HCX1500, and Panasonic just came out with a brand new series and update to this. So go check it out with the X1200, 1600, 2100, and AGCX20. Anyway, another thing people ask me sometimes are about lights. So as I have my stuff lit up just to make the background look a little bit better for you, if one goes off during the during the filming, go ahead and comment down below what timestamp that happens. I have no idea. Today we're going to be talking about this camcorder, or this camcorder, the Lomomatic110. I've got a couple of them actually. I loved it so much I bought two. There are now 3 models. One is a brass one, and I think there's even an Arctic white model. I'm not quite sure. This video is going to be a love letter to this camera, and specifically a thank you to, well, Lomography for making the Lomomatic110 a reality. None of this was sent to me. I bought them with my own money, but I love them so much, I got to tell you about them. Now, we're going to talk about the cameras, and we're going to talk about film. And I've got a few rolls to develop still right here. Wintertime, usually a downtime for me. I really like the bright sunny weather. The winter blues kind of come over me. And I haven't shot very much film lately because I really only like to shoot color film. And that's not exactly true, but I really like to shoot bright sunlight, sunlit days, things like that. It's just kind of my deal. And when I go out to shoot, I really like to photograph with my family, maybe little photo walks and things like that. And we usually do that stuff, well, in the summertime when it's warm. So I haven't been shooting much and haven't felt like processing any film. But if you've seen my other videos, you'll know how to do it. I process, just so that you know, all of my own film because the film and the processing and the scanning can be expensive and you won't get exactly what you want. I think it's better off with a small investment. If you're going to get into the Lomomatic110, you might as well go ahead and get into the system. For about $100 more than the camera, you can buy a dark bag, some solution for developing black and white, and the tools that would be necessary, like the Yankee Clipper 2. I have a video about the Yankee Clipper 2 development tank where I modified it and just made it work better. Many people don't like that development tank, and true, it's not the very best one, but it actually does a great job developing my film. Check out my video just to see where I saw problems and how I updated it. Let's go ahead and look at this camera. Let's first look at this one. This is the Lomomatic110. Put in the wrong one, I suppose. The Lomomatic110, but I bought the original one in the aluminum. And these are just Oakley sunglass bags, and this is a Polaroid. They got several Polaroid cameras strapped. Works great. This camera right here shoots, of course, the 110 film, and it is in everything that you see. Let's bring you in for a closer look right now. Zoom out. So this is the camera. Opens and closes just like that. You've got a nice little walk around up top where you've got your buttons, where you can, your shutter release, your ISO choice from 200, 100, or 400, or bulb. And then underneath it, you actually have a multiple release trigger right there, which is pretty nice, as well as an aperture day-night setting. It's 2.8 or 5.6 respectively. On this side right here, as you can kind of see, you're going to have yourself the zoom. This is zone focus, I should say. That's your focusing lever right there. And then on the back, you'll see where you could actually load the film and everything. You load the film by opening it, putting in your film, and then closing it, and then advancing it forwards like that. Here, we have, of course, our viewfinder, but we do have a flash that we can use. And the flash has different markings for full flash or automatic flash or half power flash. Just kind of goes like that. There's even a little slot right there where you can put some gels for the flash, and the flash does come off. Now, I use the flash pretty much all the time, but if you didn't want to use the flash, you didn't have to. Now, you might notice that you can't see through directly, and although you can't see it, I actually have a special ND filter that I've put on right here. Let me show you. And I've been developing these little ND filter strips, maybe to make to sell or something so that you guys can get some. Let me zoom back out. So that you guys can get some, because this 2 and 3 stop neutral intensity filter strips are very helpful for getting a really good exposure outside, which is something that's kind of a pain with these, mainly because, well, sometimes it's too bright and the film is rated too high, and then pull processing or push processing, depending on the application, doesn't turn out great. In any event, I've absolutely loved using this little camera. So let's now look at the same one, just in the Golden Gate version. And if you were only going to get one, definitely get the flash, but I think the Golden Gate would be the version to get. So come on back. Well, first of all, look, right? Just like that. Nice and yada, yada, all right? It's a lot of fun, and let's come in close on this one so that you can see. Okay, so the Golden Gate version looks just like this right here. Opens and closes the exact same way that you would expect. Has all the same goodies on it. It's just a slightly different package. Also, notice I've got some film in here. Because it's loaded and I haven't taken the picture yet, I can advance it as many times as I need and it'll be just fine. It's not going to continue advancing the film. All right, so we've got that. Let's zoom out. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the work product. Now, I would show you, and I probably will put some digital images up here just so that you can see what I've taken. But I really want to show you the prints, right? If you're going to do this kind of work, you should probably print it off because that's how the medium was designed to be seen. And this is what I was talking about earlier. When you get into your prints, you're going to notice that some of my prints, actually all of my favorite ones, have the mask that show the lomography and everything. I'll get in close with that in just a second. I think that's a part of the charm. And you'll also notice that outside the mask, that would be the developed area, you're going to be able to see that there's actually additional image space, right? So you can see a little bit more of the picture. I just think that this is pretty cool. Now, in order to do that, I developed at home using a CineStill kit, as well as a DNP DS40 for my 4x6 prints. And then I also use a Negative Lab Pro and an Epson V550 scanner, right? So Negative Lab Pro develops it, and then from the scan of the Epson V550, and of course I develop it using the Yank Clipper 2, and then I print using my DNP DS40. My workflow works great. Now, I have acquired this gear over time, so developing film for me is not a big investment. But for you, the printer will be the largest cost. And if you don't want to print your own the way that I do, you can get a Selfie, the 1200 or the 1300, the Canon Selfie CP 1300, or whichever one is out. They're like $120. They make great prints. Or you could just get your prints printed up the street at Walgreens as long as you have a scanner. Having your own scanner and Negative Lab Pro is going to be the most important part here. So if you were just to take all the core elements yourself and make sure that you had everything you needed, you would need the developing tank, of course, the developing chemicals, the dark bag, as well as a scanner. With those things, of course, the camera and the film, you're already well set to make your own prints at your own house and enjoy them. And this is really how I think you should enjoy prints. There's something else I want to share with you. I love it so much that the background on my phone happens to be pictures that I've taken with the mask. I think they make great wallpapers for phones and for computers, things like that. I think there's a really great aesthetic. In fact, I did a photo shoot for an architectural company that was developing some properties that wanted a more throwback vibe for a modern clientele, young urban professionals in the early 20s, early to late 20s. And we actually did pictures of downtown Portsmouth. These are some of those photos that they then hung in full-size reproductions in the lobby. Now, the interesting part about that was that, of course, I had to upscale the imagery in order to get the scan so that we could print it right. There were some additional things because these prints are tiny, smaller than even a Micro Four Thirds image. But we could keep going on and on. Let me just jump right into it. So I'm gonna do that now. Zoom you zoom. Okay, so I want to show you these images just to see how beautiful they actually are. Check that out. Beautiful truck. This is just taken. I mean, just enjoy the aesthetic. This is how they're really supposed to be viewed and printed. Look how the mask is across the top. I love all of that. And then right here, and then here's another one. This is downtown Waterside. This is looking towards Portsmouth. So really, this is one that went in the building. Here's a portrait off again downtown Portsmouth of my friend and I when we were going and doing the photo walk down there. indoor photography, of course, flash at the pizzeria on High Street in downtown Portsmouth. I mean, just look at the colors and the bloom. It's just a beautiful image. And there's a grain to it. There's a organic feature and feel to it. And there's something about photographing, an empty table at a restaurant. It's just really, really a neat image. Okay, so here's Cohoes, New York, and just some image. This is taken, I think, on Tiger 200. Yeah, we can see it over there. And this is outdoors. Look at this beautiful blue sky that we can get up here. All of the different shadow and contrast detail. This was taken using one of the 3-stop ND filters that I've been testing. And I've ordered neutral density stock, and I'm cutting it specifically to fit and working on packaging so that it doesn't bind up. But I've had a really great luck with it so far. So this has been great. Here's another indoor shot. Now, this is what an image can look like when you don't have the mask and you just print the printable area and you get your zoom or your zone focus correct. And here's my son and mom inside Teddy's fish fry in Cohoes, New York. Awesome. A great fish fry, believe it or not. And I love everything about this image, from the grain, from the sharpness. It's just a perfect portrait. Kind of hard to get sometimes because you got to be really good at nailing that focus. But once you do, you do. And this is what can happen when it goes wrong. So we've got a little bit of the mask over here, and I forget which I was shooting, and I can't rate it right now. This is like Lomochrome, but I messed up. This is way overexposed. I actually accidentally exposed it for, I think, 100 speed film and a 3-stop neutral density filter, and you can just see this was a very bright day. I think I did a video about this. If not, I got the original notes and the original video I took on this photo walk in order to show. This is again at Cohoes, New York. This is Lady J. She was living in that building, that tenement, and they were actually using that building to do filming of some turn of the century or some kind of show that was going on down there. You guys would know. It's like it's like one of those medieval shows of captains and queens and stuff like that. I can't really remember. Renaissance era, I guess. I don't know. Once again, this is what happens when it just all works out. And I'm trying to get this picture so you can enjoy it. So this is the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, the Hampton Roads Ferry. This is at the the Portsmouth Port or the Portsmouth Dock. And I just love this shot. Okay, 3-stop neutral density filter that was being used. This is Lomo color, just absolutely gorgeous. And I believe we were at 200 right now. And I think I had actually pushed it to 400 so that I would get a slower or a faster shutter speed, and at 5.6. I remember this one. It's one of my wallpapers and backgrounds. I absolutely love it. Just look at the cloud detail back there and look at all of the shot. I mean, it's just a great image. And although this medium is a format with a very small negative, there's just so much charm that comes through. And when you nail the shot, you really nail it. And I love this mask, the rebate that's on there. I just think it's absolutely awesome. Again, on that ferry now, looking back towards Portsmouth or towards Norfolk, heading over to Portsmouth from the back. Ferry wheel right there, you can see it. Yeah, pretty cool. And it's a paddle boat. Over here, this is a picture from one of the first shots that I took with my son in the car. No 3-stop neutral density filter. Very bright day, but look, you can begin to even see some of the highlights that are really kind of peaking. That's because even at f5.6 in shade from the vehicle, of course, from the roof, the front light is letting, it's just really bright. So I think that's one reason you need those 3-stop ND filters. I think there's room for Lomography to create a 3-stop ND filter, so I don't have to. I wish they would. But wonderful shot. And then here, this is actually on my Galaxy S24 as the wallpaper. I love this. This is the Virginia Beach. This is at Virginia Beach, the Virginia Beach Fishing Pier, and this is the Ferris wheel across the street. It's their little park. Of course, we got the rebate going on up here, and just an absolutely gorgeous image. Again, look at this beautiful coloring. There's a little bit of brightness. Maybe there was, who knows, a little light leak or something that came through. I'm not saying, actually, I haven't experienced light leaks, but it just looks, I just think this shot is just gorgeous. And it looks just like what you would remember from 1970. Doesn't it? I mean, I don't remember anything from 1970 because I wasn't born then, but wow, the image is gorgeous. And then on that same note, we're over here on that same day where I was doing that shoot, and I did make a video about these photos specifically. and you can go check that out too. But here's the lifeguard and the jet ski. Just again, look at the rebate up here and just how everything, the colors, the imperfection, the perfect imperfectness. It's just beautiful. I love everything from the shadow detail underneath to the sand right here coming up to the sky. There's just waves in the background. It's crisp and sharp, and it's an aesthetic. It's a look. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here's another one with Mom from that first roll. Again, look at the difference when you're not using that 3-stop ND filter. I recognize that they're on a different day, but even with the different film stock, I recognize a different film stock. That 3-stop ND filter really helps because it's bright out there in Virginia Beach. It's really bright in the summer, and that 3-stop ND filter is important. And then this is, again, downtown Portsmouth. That's the Portsmouth Lightship. This is a museum you can go on, and lots of fun here. Gorgeous shot. I love the colors against the background of the sky. Look at the clouds here. Look at all that detail. Sharp, just a wonderful image. Again, with this Lomomatic110, right? And this is Lomo Color 92. I love Lomo Color 92. Great film stock. And here's that truck that we started with. And again, this truck is at the Farmers Market downtown Portsmouth. They do it the first Sunday of every month. The longest farmers market, the longest actively selling farmers market in Virginia, maybe the nation, is here in downtown Portsmouth. And they're very proud of that. I just love this shot, this old truck. They have a classic car show that takes place. They sell all kinds of things on the street. It's just really nice. And then we're back to Ocean Eddies. So when you take a look all together, the camera and the system work exceedingly well to create very unique and fun images. I'm just an absolute fan. What can I say? It's easy, it's small to carry around, and it's really not that expensive if you're developing it yourself. The rolls of film or the packs of film are about $9 to $10 individually. You can get them down to $8. Well, they can be a little bit more, actually. They can be as much as $13. The Tiger 200, when bought in the 3-pack, can be purchased for around $24, so that's $8 a roll. But if you're purchasing the Lomo 92 and you're not getting it in a pack or anything like that, it's going to be $13. I really like the Lomo 92. I think it's really nice to have a new edition called Sun-Kissed, which is really cool. I also like the Metropolis. I have yet to be successful getting Metropolis to expose properly, but I haven't been doing much more testing because it's been winter and ugly outside, and that's a slightly desaturated film. So, of course, I want it to look nice. I got to wait for the sun to come out. Whether or not you get the aluminum version or the Golden Gate, which is a plastic version, or the brass version, or whichever one they have out, you're going to have a great time with it. I think if I was buying it again for the first time, I would get the Golden Gate, mainly because there's a price difference of $40 between these two. But I do prefer the feel of the aluminum version. It feels stronger than everything else, just on its own. And there you go. What a lot of fun. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I'm Rob. Been taking you down memory lane with this amazing camera. So if you like this and you want to see any other videos that I've made, check out all my other videos on the Lomomatic110.